There are moments in history when prophecy stops being an echo from the past and becomes a mirror, reflecting the present. What if I told you that what was once spoken in hushed tones, written in fragile lines of trance, is unfolding before your very eyes, through the eyes of the dogs who walk beside you? You have always felt something when you looked into the eyes of a dog. That unspoken language, that silent knowing, it lingers in you like a whisper of a forgotten memory. You sense it, that they are more than companions, more than guardians of the home. They are messengers of a deeper order, carrying codes in their being that humanity has overlooked for too long. And now, the veil is thinning. What was once hidden is beginning to be revealed. Edgar Cayce once spoke of a time when the animal kingdom would rise into greater awareness, when dogs, in particular, would become bridges between the human soul and the unseen realms. He said that their purpose would not only be loyalty, but awakening. Their senses, their hearts, their very energy fields would become indicators of the world's shifting vibrations. You feel this now, dogs becoming restless, sensing earthquakes before they arrive, warning of storms before the skies split open. But what if it is more than instinct? What if it is a prophecy, coming alive? You must understand this: dogs live in resonance with frequencies that most humans cannot perceive. Their hearing extends beyond sound, their sight beyond visible light, and their smell into realms that carry traces of memory itself. Science tries to measure this, to chart it in numbers and graphs, but the mystics already knew. Cayce knew. Dogs are receivers of the invisible currents that shape reality. When your dog stares into the corner of a room, when they bark at emptiness, when they curl around you as if guarding you from unseen shadows, what if they are not confused, but connected? The ancient world carried this knowledge too. Egyptians carved dogs into tomb walls as guardians of the soul's journey. The Greeks spoke of Cerberus, the hound at the gates of the underworld, not as a beast of fear, but as a symbol of transition between realms. Indigenous wisdom keepers have long said that dogs are dream walkers, slipping between the veil of spirit and matter. And Cayce, in his visions, aligned with this timeless truth, that dogs are not evolving to be like us. Rather, they are evolving to remind us who we really are. Think of it. Every wag of the tail is not just joy, but energy made visible. Every howl is not merely sound, but resonance echoing through unseen dimensions. Every look of recognition, every moment you swear they understood your words, your feelings, your pain. Those are not coincidences. They are reminders that consciousness is not bound to human flesh. Dogs are mirrors of the soul. They take in your wounds, they carry your burdens, and sometimes, they even fall ill in place of you, reflecting the stress and toxins of your life so that you may awaken to them. Now, consider this. Cayce spoke of a coming alignment where the bond between humans and dogs would not only heal hearts, but awaken consciousness on a collective scale. Imagine what happens when millions begin to see their dogs not as pets, but as partners in evolution. Imagine the resonance when humanity realizes these beings are tuning forks for the Earth's energy, vibrating in harmony with both cosmic changes and the human heart. You are already seeing it. Dogs alerting to illnesses, detecting cancers, calming the storms of anxiety within soldiers, children, and seekers. They are healers, in fur and flesh, fulfilling a prophecy too many dismissed. And perhaps, deep down, you already feel it happening. Your dog is not just watching you. They are awakening you. They are aligning you with something vast, something ancient, something destined. You must begin to see the convergency, prophecy and science, spirit and matter, merging into a truth so undeniable that even the skeptics will pause in wonder. Edgar Cayce foresaw it not as a fable, but as a certainty. That dogs, among other creatures, would serve as emissaries of subtle energy, guardians of the threshold between the human and the divine. And today, Science is only beginning to stumble upon what he already knew. Neuroscience has revealed that a dog's brain synchronizes with yours when you gaze into their eyes. In those moments, oxytocin, the hormone of love, trust, and connection, floods both beings simultaneously. Do you understand the power of this? It is not simply affection. It is chemistry binding consciousness. It is evidence that your souls are dancing in resonance. This was Cayce's vision, that humanity would awaken to the realization that animals are not beneath us, but beside us, vibrating at frequencies we once possessed and will one day reclaim. Quantum physics whispers the same truth. Entanglement shows us that particles, once connected, remain bonded beyond space and time. What if dogs are living proof of this? What if the bond you feel with your dog is not metaphor, but entanglement? An invisible thread tying your heartbeat to theirs, your dreams to theirs, your fears to theirs. You see it when they wake before you stir, when they run to the door before the knock comes, when they grieve your sorrow without you saying a word. They are entangled with you in the great web of consciousness. Cayce spoke of waves of transformation, times when the veil between the physical and spiritual would thin. Dogs, he suggested, would sense these currents first. And now, as Earth trembles with climate shifts, as frequencies surge through the electromagnetic fields of our planet, dogs are restless. They whimper before earthquakes, howl before storms, pace before tragedies. Scientists call it instinct, but Cayce would call it awakening. They are not predicting events. They are resonating with the very pulse of Earth's transformation. And look closer in hospitals across the world. Therapy dogs lie beside patients whose hearts are failing, and yet their presence stabilizes heartbeats. Veterans broken by war find their nervous systems soothed in the presence of a service dog. Children on the edge of despair are pulled back into laughter by the nuzzle of a furry face. These are not coincidences. These are healings. These are fulfillments of prophecy. Cayce knew that as humanity drifted into disconnection, technology replacing touch, greed replacing compassion, the animal kingdom would rise to remind us of our forgotten nature. Dogs would lead this charge, embodying the vibration of unconditional love, anchoring it back into human hearts. Pause for a moment and feel into this. The prophecy is not about the future. It is about now. Every wag of a tail in a hospital bed, every silent vigil kept by a dog at the grave of its owner, every moment when a dog pulls a child away from danger. This is the living scripture of Cayce's vision. The animals are teaching us again, and the question is, will we listen? Because here lies the deeper truth: the dogs are not simply awakening. They are waiting for you to wake up with them. Your relationship with your dog is not accidental. It is a call to remember that life is vibration, that love is the highest frequency, and that prophecy is not locked in books, but alive in fur and heartbeat. So when you sit in stillness, and your dog rests their head on your lap, feel it, the transmission of love that is ancient, cosmic, divine. In that moment, you are not only human, you are more. You are connected to the eternal rhythm of all life, and your dog is the bridge carrying you there. There is a sacred reason why dogs are appearing at the heart of so many healings. It is not a chance. It is not mere training. It is a prophecy unfolding before your eyes. Edgar Cayce, in trance, spoke of animals becoming vessels of healing energy, particularly in times when humanity would lose touch with the essence of spirit. He described how their very presence would realign human beings to higher vibrations, like tuning forks adjusting a discordant instrument. And now, you are living in that time. You see it in hospitals where patients in pain soften under the touch of a dog's nose. You see it in prisons, where hardened souls rediscover gentleness by training rescue dogs. You see it in homes, where those burdened by grief are held together by the silent companionship of a loyal companion. Science calls it therapy. Cayce called it the awakening of love through creation itself. Consider what modern research reveals: dogs lower cortisol, the hormone of stress, and raise oxytocin, the hormone of love. They regulate the rhythms of your nervous system, aligning your heartbeats, calming your breath. But beyond biology, they awaken something deeper. They remind you that love does not need to be earned. It simply is. And when you receive it, you remember. You remember who you are. You remember what you came here for. Think of the countless stories. Dogs who run for help when their owners collapse, who sense seizures before they happen, who comfort the dying in their final hours. These are not tricks of instinct. These are living proofs of Cayce's vision, that dogs would step into their higher role as healers of the soul. They do not cure disease. They cure disconnection. They do not erase suffering. They guide you through it with love so pure, it awakens the memory of eternity. But here is the mystery that Cayce hinted at, and that you must now contemplate. Dogs do not heal only the body or the mind. They heal the spirit. When you stroke their fur, you are grounding yourself in the present moment, entering the eternal now. When they lean against you in silence, they are drawing you out of the maze of thought and into the field of being. And when they look into your eyes, you see something ancient, something that tells you that consciousness is not bound to the human form. In those eyes, you glimpse a soul that has traveled with you before and will again. What if your dog is not only your companion in this life, but your companion across lifetimes? Cayce often spoke of the soul's journey, of reincarnation, of bonds that transcend time. Could it be that the dog at your feet is not just here for now, but here for eternity, walking with you in many forms, teaching you the lesson of unconditional love again and again? If this is true, then every wag, every bark, every moment of loyalty is not random, it is destiny. And yet, the prophecy carries a responsibility. Dogs are not here only to comfort you. They are here to awaken you, to mirror your emotional state, to reflect your hidden wounds, to draw your attention to the parts of yourself you would rather not face. When your dog grows restless, when they fall ill in strange resonance with your own stress, when they shield you from unseen energies, you must learn to listen. For they are not only companions, they are oracles of your inner life. Take this in slowly. Feel it as a truth not of the mind, but of the heart. Because the question is no longer whether Cayce was right. The question is, are you ready to recognize the prophecy unfolding through the being sitting beside you, waiting for you to see? There is something haunting, something eternal, in the way a dog can stand at the edge of nothing and see what you cannot. Have you ever noticed it? The sudden bark at an empty corner, the way they freeze, ears erect, staring into shadows where nothing seems to move. The whimper at midnight, when silence is thick and the air feels heavy with presence. To most, these moments are dismissed as instinct, as confusion, as meaningless. But Cayce warned otherwise. He said that animals, and dogs especially, would carry the role of guardians between realms. Sentries who see beyond the veil. Dogs live where you forget to look. Their senses stretch into dimensions where human eyes no longer see. They do not question the invisible, they move through it, as naturally as you move through air. Cayce saw a time when humanity would need them as protectors, not from thieves or wild beasts, but from energies unseen, forces subtle yet powerful. When humanity drifts into darkness, when thought, technology, and desire blind the soul, it is the dogs who remind us of what lurks just beyond sight. Think of the ancient myths: Anubis, the jackal, headed guardian, guiding souls into eternity. Cerberus at the underworld's gate, standing guard between worlds. These were not monsters. They were symbols of what Cayce revealed: dogs are threshold keepers. They walk with one paw in your world and one paw in another. And as the prophecy unfolds, you are beginning to realize they are not guarding you from death. They are guiding you toward life, toward awareness, toward awakening. Modern science touches this mystery without fully naming it. Researchers know that dogs detect seizures before they happen, that they warn of heart attacks before machines do, that they calm the nervous system with a presence no human doctor can replicate. But beneath the surface lies something science is too shy to admit. Dogs perceive patterns in the unseen. Their restlessness before earthquakes, their cries before tragedy, their strange ability to sense when a loved one is about to die. These are not anomalies. They are echoes of a truth Cayce foresaw. Dogs are tuning to vibrations that ripple through the fabric of reality itself. And this truth grows even more urgent now. As Earth accelerates in change, as frequencies surge in ways you cannot explain, dogs are responding. Have you not seen it? Dogs becoming more expressive, more restless, more attuned to their owner's emotional storms. They are not evolving by accident. They are evolving because prophecy demands it. They are responding to the great transformation of the planet. They are mirrors, amplifiers, guardians, and they are asking you to wake up with them. But there is something more, something deeper. Cayce spoke of how animals would one day be recognized as souls on their own journeys, spirits evolving in parallel with humanity. When your dog howls into the night, when they curl against you in sorrow, when they leap with joy, as if embodying sunlight itself, they are not merely reacting. They are expressing their soul's path. They are teachers cloaked in fur. And if you listen, if you open your awareness, you begin to sense it. They are not waiting to ascend into humanity. They are inviting humanity to descend into simplicity, into presence, into love unconditioned by thought. Do you feel the danger of this knowledge? Because once you see your dog as a guardian of realms, as a healer of soul, as a partner in evolution, you cannot return to seeing them as pets. You realize they are emissaries, and that realization carries responsibility. For if they are here to awaken you, then your bond with them is not casual, it is cosmic. So the next time your dog stops and stares into what looks like emptiness, pause with them. Feel into the stillness. Ask yourself, what is it they see that I have forgotten how to see? In that moment, the prophecy is alive, and you are no longer walking through the world blind. You are walking with a guide. It is easy to think of your dog as your companion alone, but Cayce's vision was never about individuals. It was about humanity as a whole. He saw a time when animals, especially dogs, would emerge as collective healers, balancing the chaos of human thought with the purity of instinctive love. You must understand this. They are not simply here for you, they are here for all of us. Look around. In the modern world, fear spreads faster than truth. Anxiety coils through the nervous system of society, stress hangs like smoke in the air, and division fragments human hearts. Yet, against this backdrop of disconnection, dogs remain steady. They bring strangers together in parks, spark conversations across barriers, soften the edges of hardened souls. A wag of a tail is more disarming than 1,000 words. A single act of loyalty can remind an entire family what it means to be bonded. This is no accident. It is part of the prophecy Cayce foresaw. Dogs as the living antidote to the sickness of separation. And now, science confirms what Spirit already knew. Studies show that entire communities shift when therapy dogs visit schools, prisons, or disaster zones. Violence drops, tension dissolves, hope returns. But look deeper. It is not biology alone. It is frequency. Dogs carry a field of coherence, a vibration of harmony that ripples outward, entraining human nervous systems into balance. Cayce called this the law of resonance. The stronger vibration always shifts the weaker one. And in a world addicted to noise, dogs carry the stillness that humanity has forgotten. This is why they gather at your side when you are sick. This is why they lie across your chest when your heart races with fear. This is why they curl at your feet during your darkest nights. They are not comforting you out of habit. They are aligning you back to life. And when millions of humans experience this, something remarkable happens. Collective healing, one household at a time, one family at a time, one soul at a time, the vibration rises. Cayce warned that humanity's greatest illness would not be physical, but spiritual, the forgetting of our oneness. And in that forgetting, cruelty would rise, greed would spread, wars would erupt. Yet he also said that creation itself would not abandon humanity, that life in other forms would rise to heal the fracture. And who stands closest to you? Who lies in your home at your feet, watching you with eyes that ask nothing but love? It is the dog, the emissary, the healer, the bridge. Pause here and let this truth sink in. Your dog is not merely serving you. They are participating in the healing of the world. Every act of loyalty, every moment of love, every quiet night of companionship, they are lifting the vibration of humanity. They are reminding you of something Cayce urged again and again, that the highest force is love, and it is through love that humanity will survive the storms to come. And perhaps this is why you feel such grief when you lose a dog, because deep down, you know that the bond you shared was not small. It was cosmic. It was part of a prophecy far larger than your own life. That grief is sacred, for it testifies to the truth. You were touched by a love eternal, a love woven into the very fabric of creation. If this resonates, share it in the comments. It helps this message reach more seekers, because the prophecy is not meant for one voice or one life. It is meant to awaken the collective, and you are part of that awakening. There is a question that lingers in the heart of every seeker who has ever loved a dog. Why does their time feel so brief when their love feels so eternal? The answer Cayce gave was not bound by the limits of science or the cages of doctrine. He spoke of the soul's journey, of reincarnation, of bonds that stretch across lifetimes like golden threads that can never be severed. And within his visions, dogs were not exceptions to this truth. They were participants, companions not only of the hearth, but of the soul's eternal path. You have felt it yourself. The strange familiarity when you meet a dog for the first time, and yet know them as if you have always walked together. The uncanny way they mirror your moods, your habits, even your unspoken thoughts. The grief that rips through you when they leave, as if you have lost a part of your very being. This is not an illusion. This is a memory. Memory of journeys together before, and journeys still to come. Cayce described animals as evolving souls, moving through stages of consciousness, each carrying lessons not only for themselves but for the humans who walk beside them. Dogs, he said, hold a unique place in this spiral of evolution. They incarnate near us, with us, sometimes for us, serving as bridges between your human experience and the greater fabric of spirit. When a dog's eyes meet yours, and you feel that inexplicable recognition, it is not a chance. It is soul meeting soul again. And perhaps you've noticed, when one dog leaves your life, another often appears. Different in body, but strangely similar in spirit. Their gaze carries echoes of the one before. Their habits, their quirks, their timing, too perfect to be coincidence. Could it be that your companion has returned, stepping once more into form, answering the call of love across lifetimes? Cayce would say yes. The soul returns, again and again, in the forms most needed for your awakening. And often, that form is the loyal, loving dog at your side. This truth reframes everything. The bond is not temporary, it is eternal. The grief of loss is not the end, it is transition. Death does not sever love, it transforms it. And when you open your heart to this mystery, you begin to see signs. A dream where your old dog visits, eyes glowing with love. A sudden nudge of presence when you're alone. The arrival of a new companion who feels like an old friend in disguise. These are not fantasies. They are glimpses of the great continuity of spirit. Cayce taught that your soul does not walk alone. You travel in soul groups, families of spirit who incarnate together in many forms, many lifetimes, to teach, to heal, to awaken. And among your soul group may very well be the dog who has never left your side. They appear again and again, not as teacher or master, but as guardian, healer, mirror, and friend. Let this truth wash over you. Your dog may have walked with you through the sands of Egypt, through medieval villages, through lifetimes you have long forgotten. They may have guarded your steps in one life, healed your sorrow in another, and guided your awakening now. This is the depth of Cayce's prophecy, that love is not bound by time, and companionship is not confined to one body. It is eternal. And here lies the great invitation to begin seeing your bond not as fragile, but as infinite. To live with your dog as if every moment is holy, as if every gaze is a reminder of eternity. Because one day, when you two cross the veil, they will be there, waiting, guiding, walking with you once again into the light. The prophecy is not about dogs alone. It is about you, about humanity, about the turning of an age where the veil thins, where consciousness rises, and where love itself becomes the foundation of survival. Cayce did not speak of dogs as curiosities. He spoke of them as catalysts, as signs that the old ways of disconnection are ending, and that the new way, the way of resonance, of harmony, of unity, is already unfolding. Dogs are the first to remind you. Through their eyes you rediscover innocence. Through their loyalty you remember trust. Through their unconditional love you glimpse the divine. And in their very presence, you are drawn back to the truth that humanity has tried to escape, that you are not separate, not isolated, not alone. You are part of the great field of life, vibrating in harmony with all creation. Look at what they are teaching you. To live in the present, to forgive without hesitation, to love without conditions, to trust without proof. These are not small lessons. These are the very qualities humanity must embody to survive what is coming. For Cayce warned of great changes, of storms, of upheaval, of humanity's own shadows rising, and yet, he also revealed hope that through love, through resonance, through awakening, the path forward would open. And now, look closely. The prophecy is here. Dogs are not waiting for you to lead. They are already showing the way. They are already embodying the very qualities that will heal the human spirit. The question is not whether they are ready. The question is, are you? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this, a world where humans love as dogs do. Where forgiveness flows freely, where presence is sacred, where connection is lived, not spoken. Imagine a society where dogs are not merely companions, but honored as co-healers, travelers, co-creators of the new earth. This is not fantasy. It is the living prophecy unfolding in your time. You have felt it in your own life, the shift, the awakening, the silent guidance of the dog who walks beside you. And now, you are called to see it clearly. They are not here to follow you. They are here to awaken you. They are not evolving into humanity. You are being invited to evolve into love. So let this truth echo in you long after the words fade. Your dog is more than fur, more than loyalty, more than companionship. They are prophecy walking. They are love embodied. They are the living bridge between the human and the divine. And when you honor this, when you live this, when you love as they love, you step into the very future Cayce saw. A world where love is the highest frequency. A world where prophecy is no longer a distant vision, but a living reality. A world where you and your dog walk together into eternity, side by side, as one.